There are three levels of dynamics in drumming that you want to keep in mind if you want to maximize the creative potential of the melodies that you think of. They are accents, ghost notes, and silence. Like most people are usually thinking about accents and ghost notes and the relationship between them, but not a lot of people are thinking about the use of silence and the combination of the three levels at once. So in the most obvious case, we have accents and ghost notes, which is the accent is the melody. The ghost note essentially is negative space compared to the melody. Relatively speaking, it's just filling space. So if I go, right, you hear the melody. If I asked you to sing it back, you'd sing back the melody, and the ghost notes go unnoticed. But now, if we move down a tier in this, we have ghost notes and silence. And now we can have ghost notes take over the melodic responsibility that accents were just playing compared to ghost notes, because everything's relative, right? Something that's loud is only loud compared to something that's quieter than it. And now we have ghost notes compared to silence, so the ghost notes become the loud note. They become the melody, right? So if I do a similar thing now, I'm going to play ghost notes only, no accents, and they're going to carry the melodic responsibility of my playing, right? Right? Simple enough to understand. But things get interesting when you start taking all three levels into account and moving between them, right? So one, with the tools we just established, I can at least move between like the bottom two and the top two. Right, so we've got accents compared to ghost notes, and then we've got ghost notes compared to silence. And if I move between those, very intentionally, I'll do it every 2 bars or something like that, you can hear that the melody in my head that I'm thinking of, ba, ba, da, ba, ba, boom, boom, ga, ga, da, boom, boom, now has, I don't know, you could say, you can play it in twice as many ways, right? I have twice as much creative potential for that melody. I don't have to switch on the downbeat. I can switch at will. But of course, where this really gets cool and where we really experience the exponential potential of using all three levels in our improv at the same time is when I don't necessarily limit myself to one or the other, right? For example, if I'm playing ghost notes compared to silence, I can also use accents, right? I can play those notes that are the melody now, however loud I want. So in that case, I can move, I have silence as the negative space, and as the positive space, I have either a ghost note or an accent. None of this is filler ghost notes. It's all melodic ghost notes. Now we have melodic ghost notes and melodic accents, and everything matters. If I asked you to take a little chunk of that and sing it back to me, you'd have to sing the ghost note melodies as well in order to accurately give me the musical idea back. Whereas now, I can do that, what I was just doing, and occasionally flip into our original mode, which was accents are the melody, ghost notes fill space. Ghost notes become negative space that you don't need to sing back to me. You just sing back the accent. That's the melody of what's going on. Now, if I incorporate that, first I'll do it in like a more square way so it's easier to follow, and then I'll start to mix it all together, and you'll see like, oh, this guy's thinking of one melody, unfolding melody. The rhythmic stream of consciousness is just kind of, I'm letting it go. And all I'm doing is moving between these three levels and combining them in different ways. So really, I have one melody that I just keep thinking of, and the way that I assign it dynamically to the drum set gives me a significant proportion of the creative juice of improvisation. So here's what that might look like. We'll start with the accents compared to the ghost notes. All right, so it's important to keep in mind when you're trying to be creative on the drum set, these 3 levels of dynamics: accents, ghost notes, silence. Everything in the drums is relative, and everything is based around the melody. So what is the melody and what is the negative space compared to the melody? We have a lot of different ways that we can affect, to dial, turn those dials when we're improvising on the drum set. And that's a huge portion of what happens when you're improvising and being creative on the drum set. So at the core of this whole idea is the ability to think of interesting rhythms, right? That's our whole thing. It's like, if I'm thinking of interesting rhythms, I can deliver them in all of these ways. If you feel like thinking of interesting rhythms, opening the faucet of your rhythmic stream of consciousness and just letting it go quite effortlessly is difficult, that's something I call rhythmic vocabulary. That is something that I teach very well and sort of specialize in on my website, jpbouvetmethod.com. That would be a place to check out. If everything I just said made perfect sense, except your ability to think of infinite interesting rhythms before you even deliver them to the drum set. So rhythmic vocabulary is the name of that thing that we need in order to be creative on the drums, and the rhythmic vocabulary course on my website is probably the best place to learn and expand that vocabulary. So anyways, like, comment, subscribe if you're into some of these creative ideas, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.